Okay, Harold, hello everyone. Welcome to part 3 of this online workshop on writing your own monologue. And this section is dedicated to what we call deciding on the hook. And to decide on the hook is basically decide on a strategy for audience engagement. Okay, what exactly is a hook? Okay, a hook is a strategy for engaging the audience. Okay, and the very premise for writing your monologue. It should explain why your character wishes to speak to us. It should set the tone and intention of the monologue and point directly or indirectly to what the character wants, i.e., their motivation or objective. Okay, it introduces the audience to the character and their plight so that we, as an audience, may connect with it. Okay. Here are some examples of a hook. Okay. So a hook must quickly invite the audience into the world and mind of your character. So these are a couple of hooks I wrote for different monologic moments in my plays. Okay. So the first one comes from a play I wrote called The Boy Who Caused 9/11. And this is in the voice of the boy. It's all my fault. Every single moment, all of it. Everything that happened before it happened, and everything that happened because it happened. Okay? We don't really know what the it is, and the point is to draw the audience into the drama, to discover what this it exactly is, and why the boy feels they're kind of duty-bound to tell us about it, and why they feel guilty and personally responsible for whatever this terrible situation is. Okay? The second one is from a recent play called Pieces of Her, which is about characters, teenage characters, who kind of live out lives largely online. Okay? So this is in the voice of one of the characters. Sometimes when I'm drifting online and allowing myself to dream, I see pieces of her. As I sift through the chatter, the memes, the mocking, and the mashups, I see her. I begin to see her. Okay? So the hook is to kind of draw us into this world, this online world of this character, and engage us in that character's search for this unnamed her. Okay? So one of the tricks with a hook is to add a kind of sense of mystery, right? An expectation to it, so that the audience are drawn in and want to find out more. Here are some examples of a hook, different kinds of examples, just to tell you that monologue writing need not be necessarily difficult, and you need not have perfect English in order to pull it off. Okay, a hook can actually describe your characters as well as your own struggles with English or with verbal expression in general. Okay, so you can begin your hook by saying things like, "Pardon my poor English," and that tension between the thoughts they have and what they would express creates drama. Even now, I struggle to find the words. So this is about a character who doesn't quite know what to say, how to explain the situation they find themselves in. And that struggle is what draws us in. English is an unfamiliar land I've rarely traveled. This uses metaphor to explain that English is unfamiliar. It's strange. It's unusual. It's something that this character does not exactly know how to use because it's unfamiliar in explaining themselves, their story, and their identity. Okay, so just to give you some ideas of what you can do. If you think your English is limited, don't feel limited by that. Use that to your advantage, right? Remember what I said earlier? Use your limitations to your advantage. Of course, leverage on your strengths, but always capitalize on weaknesses, turn them into strengths. Okay? All right, so here is my second task for you guys. individually, post in the comments thread below 3 possible hooks that could be used to open your monologue. Okay? Write them down, put them in a post. And your fellow participants here will read them and give you some feedback on that, right? So help each other determine which one is better than others. And if you're giving feedback to other people, right, be clear about why you believe one hook that they provide is better than another hook they provided, okay? Okay. Now, keep in mind that feedback from students from the other institution in the other country is going to be very important for you, okay? Because they are going to be your primary audience because they will judge the monologues in the final competition. So take note of their suggestions and take note of their struggles to understand your words, because the more you tailor your monologue to this audience, the more it's likely to stand out to that audience, okay? So good luck writing hooks and giving each other some feedback. When we come back, we'll move on to another topic.